Amid a backdrop of late summer skies, the 2025 edition of the World Confectionery Conference successfully returned to Brussels for its fourth live edition and its fifth in total after our original online version, with our latest iteration following swiftly on the heels of our 90th anniversary confectionery production celebrations last year. For our return to the Belgian capital, wider global conditions presented a number of tests and opportunities, with key developments across policy, equipment and systems which informed a lot of this year's event, which proved a rewarding and engaging experience for all involved. Indeed, our agenda included plenty of hard-hitting issues, including developments relating to the EUDR regulations on deforestation, which are very much under threat as we speak. And we of course also addressed sustainability and innovation right across the full range of our confectionery and snacks industries, which made for a particularly dynamic event all round. As has been the case in previous editions, our show was kicked off by Calbisco, European Confectionery and Biscuits Trade Association, which was represented by Aldo Cristiano of Ferrero, who gave a compelling keynote address which looked at some of the conditions that businesses are facing across Europe and the wider world in confectionery and snack sectors. He said that resilience is not built overnight, and it was a question of collaboration across the sector to weather the present storms, which include the impacts of the ongoing conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East as well, which are bearing down on the industry. Despite that, he struck an optimistic tone, looking to the future in terms of the potential for new development of confectionery across global markets, which is indeed in a particularly resilient state in spite of all these external factors. Next up on our agenda, we had the returning Onorata Giarocca of the Mintel Research Group, who offered some excellent insights into the state of the industry. She looked at the notion of maximalisation, how brands are really going bold and bigger in their approach to consumer marketing. And this is also reflected in flavours and textures and companies looking to push the boundaries of innovation. In addition, she also looked at subjects like sugar reduction, which remains on the agenda for many companies across the sector. From there, we had Sebastiano Collino, the head of health and nutrition for Ferrero, who offered some fascinating insights into how the business is approaching the development of its new products. This included addressing some key factors for consumers, including how populations are aging, demographics are changing around the world, as well as facing factors such as shrinking household size and how generational change, such as Gen Z, looking at how it makes best use of social media platforms like TikTok to get influential products forward in the marketplace. And another memorable moment from our morning sessions came courtesy of Dr. Isabelle Géouen, the Research and Development Director for French-based Alain and Robert, the ingredient specialist who have taken acacia gum to the next level within the confectionery space. Now, she offered some excellent insights into where the company is going, including offering an inside track on its latest Syndeo gelling system for the gummy market, which ended up among our winners for the World Confectionery Awards that were presented on the day. Furthermore, we had another returning presenter in the form of Şeyma Özanök, the Turkish-based specialist from Palsgard Ingredients. She offered an in-depth analysis of how the company's AMP emulsifying systems have been making a real impact across the confectionery, snacks and also bakery markets, which is particularly pertinent at this moment in time as companies look to save money in terms of the ingredients they're using in a market where costs are higher than ever. From there, we had a presentation from Thomas Steinbrecher of the Eastman Industry Solutions Group, who invited a guest on stage from Hans Brunner to look at how two companies had worked together in terms of enhancing materials for chocolate moulding systems. And as the company explained, while this traditionally hadn't been a core area of focus for its activities, it certainly applied itself to great effect with its project with Hans Brunner. This led on to our final presentation for the morning, which saw Angeline Camus of the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil take to the floor to discuss how the organisation is attempting to make a difference with its standards of certification for the industry. As she mentioned, it has been a challenge in some respects in terms of getting industry and consumer buy-in to such notions of certification, but she believed that its work is making an active difference throughout the industry. Our afternoon sessions were kicked off by Tristan Hover, an analyst with the Euromonitor organisation, who offered a lively and engaging presentation looking at some of the factors influencing purchasing decisions within Europe. And one of the core areas that he looked at was the market for protein-enhanced confectionery and bars, which has shown a strong upward curve. Now, some of the strong aspects behind the consumer's decision-making processes included purchasing because products make them feel better. They also improve people's physical appearance in their view, and also potentially looking at weight loss management, which is another factor in terms of protein bar sales. Elsewhere, Tristan addressed the growing trend for confectionery as a whole, and there was great positivity for the year ahead. Turning our attention to the cocoa sector, we heard from Julia Ocampo, the sustainability head of Luca Chocolate in Colombia, who ventured from South America to give a very inspiring presentation on its work in the region and exports around the world. The business, which was founded in 1906, has been very much based around sustainability right at its heart, and that continues to this day, and indeed that was a key factor in the company winning an award with us last year. And this time around, Julia gave a very great presentation looking at how its Chocolate Dream programme was panning out on the ground, helping several thousand farmers in its native Colombia to really improve their environments and help them earn the very best they can, as well as helping the community at large. We then turned our attention back to the wider ingredients segment for the market and heard once more from Willy van Arkel van Arendonk of Corbion, who gave a fascinating presentation last year and equally didn't disappoint us this time around, discussing the company's focus on buffers, which are lactic acid based solutions for the confectionery sector, which help create greater tastes and mask flavours as well, so playing a very valuable role indeed. The Italian-based Karma Equipment and Systems Group made a very welcome return to this year's conference, with Jaleng van der Zee, area manager for the company, offering an excellent overview of its operations in the region and beyond. This included looking at some of its core packaging lines that have been making a big difference for confectionery and snacks manufacturers across our segment. The company has won plaudits for the quality of its robotics with its packaging machinery systems, and it's also making great strides with its GoWrap mono-material, environmentally friendly packaging systems, which are also attracting a lot of interest at present. Moving forward, we heard a remote presentation from Canada's Bartec Ingredients, a specialist in malic acids, which are described as the workhorses of the ingredients world, providing masking capabilities and also helping create certain flavours as well. This led us on to our centrepiece finale of our Q&A session, looking at sustainability and the future of the confectionery sector. This was an epic topic which certainly drew in the audience. It featured Fairtrade's Jason Chempong, who spoke to confectionery production about his desire to keep farmers at the forefront of the industry, which was very much reflected in our conversation. Indeed, the same was true of Oba Dekun Thompson, talking about how Nigeria has been pushing its cocoa trade forward, but admitted there are still challenges in the sector, and sustainability is indeed a tough goal to achieve and requires consumers paying more, governments backing businesses, and also communities coming together to support their cocoa farmers. Sabine Schomer, the director of ISM Cologne, who looked at how companies are trying to be more sustainable in their outlook and putting tangible action plans in place. For his part, Francesco Tremontin of Ferrero offered some great insights in terms of EUDR potential and also raising the bar overall in sustainability. The panel was completed by Thierry Touchet of Rainforest Alliance, who really underlined its ongoing mission, which remains significantly challenging in trying to ensure greater industry standards. And finally, our day came to a conclusion with our awards, with Prestat gaining Best Finished Product for its Dubai chocolate. Schubert claimed an Equipment Award for its Cobot system. Allen and Robert gained an Ingredients Award. And as for Emerging Enterprise, Fliss Newland of Wild Things picked up an accolade for that category, with her reduced sugar gummy offering, which is making great inroads into the UK market. Kent's Fudge Kitchen gained Team of the Year. And the final accolade went to Cordillera Chocolates from South America for its hugely sustainable system of cocoa and chocolate production, which has helped thousands of farmers in its native Colombia, as well as assisting women farmers in particular with a new scheme that has brought on the sector tremendously. It provided a particularly strong sustainability note to end on, and after our concluding drinks reception, everyone was left with a very strong impression that key gains have been made with regards to sustainability and innovation across our industries, and we'll look forward to seeing you all again next year to place a spotlight on our ever-evolving markets around the world, which offer up plenty of tests, challenges and opportunities which continue to place our sectors right at the heart of the wider food and drink market.